I think in terms of mentorship is something that you can seek out individually. Sponsorship is a little bit more nebulous, right? It's someone working. I think she described it as someone's at the table rooting for you and you don't know it. And so, that's something that I think senior folks, leaders, officers of the bank, they can identify individuals. I've been more deliberate about that as well in my role, even as a manager, looking at folks that are coming through the pipeline, folks that are emerging, and being an advocate for those individuals, because I think, at points in time, specifically, this was driven around African Americans and Latinos, but also women. It's not always clear that there are people in the room that are willing to give you that chance.
Part of that self-assessment was really a huge takeaway for me doing this workshop, because it allowed me to be more open and allowed me to be more aware of what I want and how I'm going to get it.
If it was not for my mentors and my sponsors, I probably would not be where I'm at right now. I give them a lot of credit because, yes, I had the skills, but until I had people to push me, that wasn't until I started taking those risks. And for me, developing those relationships with people came from my values, right? So being eager to want to learn more and reaching out to people. And then in reaching out to people, seeing that people were actually excited about helping me grow and realizing that people wanted to see me succeed. And then that's when I started realizing, oh, I guess this person is a mentor to me. Let me continue this relationship. So if you don't have mentors, start developing them.
What was your aha moment from a self-awareness perspective, where you really were vulnerable during the overall process?
My aha moment was I was closed. I am an open person, but I was closed. And so the self-assessment allowed me to really understand that I cannot be and continue to grow within leadership if I'm not open to feedback, if I'm not open to kind of transformation and change, a little bit different than I had imagined in my, only child imagination, So I do think that it's important for me to continue as I move forward with the tools that I have now to remain open. So that's part of my level of self-awareness, and it definitely was an aha moment during that workshop.
My aha moment was thinking about, the skills that I focused on in the past that kind of got me to where I'm at right now, that were successful to me, aren't really the skills that are really going to continue to push my career going forward. And it's when we start off as an examiner, the goal is to build you as a generalist examiner. It's about building technical skills. And yes, there's lead roles within an examination that focus on some essential skills as a leader. But to me, it's just kind of thinking about, that same path or that strategy that I've been doing in the past is not going to take me where I'm going, where I need to go forward. So I think that's a very important piece to think about. If you are in a role as an individual contributor and you want to jump to a leadership role, just kind of think, what are those skills that you need for to make that transition, to move forward, to make sure that you are putting yourself in a good spot to make that transition.
I feel like where I had to be vulnerable is to identify my biases and to understand where my blind spots are. So when we talk about the hindrances and kind of what has been holding us back, or even when I talk about the confidences and what I know has held me back, those three things, I had to call it out. I think people will feel something towards me because I'm an African American. I think people may treat me differently because I'm a female. And then lastly, I think people might treat me differently because I'm a millennial, and then identifying those things and realizing okay, these are things that you have your own biases about, but it was an aha moment that I have to identify them, call them out, and push past that.